Hey guys, Mark Naven here, and I'm joined by Peter Hermann from Living Loans. How are you, Peter?
Well, thanks, Mark. How are you?
Fantastic. Yeah, look, we were talking a little bit before about your business, Living Loans, and
Sure.
and how you're a broker. Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Okay. Yeah, there's a bit of a story behind Living Loans as well, because
Okay.
mortgage means a pledge to the death. And I'm trying to give people an alternative to that, where their mortgage or their loan doesn't kill them, but they can actually build a lifestyle out of it if they do it correctly.
Yep.
So
Fantastic. So you sort of spun it there, and
yeah, a bit of spin, a bit of alliteration,
yeah.
LL. But anyway, with my business, I do traditional mortgages, but the bulk of my business is really working with investors, especially small to medium scale developers who are looking for funding. But most of what I do is with people whom the banks have just said, don't like you, go away. Not quite as blunt as that, but that's the net result.
Yep.
And I usually find I can source funding for those people, because quite often it's just simply the way they presented it, or there's information they haven't put in, or more importantly, you just find somebody out there who is actually willing to do those sort of deals, and there's really no shortage at the moment.
Absolutely. And so, what are you looking for at the moment? Like, what are you looking for to grow your business, or how can people advocate for you with what you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, it's not as easy to answer when you actually think about it, but the more I think about it, it's
Good question, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good question, because it's not very often people ask you, what can we do for you? It's usually the other way around. What can you do for me? Either stated or implied.
It's often the way that people think, but it's, how can people help you? Because if they don't know what it is you're looking for, how are you ever going to have people advocate for you?
True. I guess one of the best ways is when I actually give people a solution to a problem, is actually just tell 2 or 3 friends I found a solution to your problem. That's really quite simple and uncomplicated. And most people only tell 2 or 3 people good news. They tell 14 or 15 people bad news. But I think that's one aspect of it. And another way I think would be just to find out what I actually do. Like, there's a lot more to what I do than I simply can explain to you here in a minute or two.
Sure.
But I do quite a lot of diverse stuff,
and so I guess what we're trying to, and I know it's like you said, there's a lot of stuff there. Are you looking for more clients to help people with their finance? Is that what you're looking for? Is that what you need at the moment, or are you looking for maybe more staff, or are you looking for more lenders or something like that? Perhaps is there a specific thing that you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm probably
that
not
could really help you at the moment.
I'm probably not looking for staff. It's enough hassle to manage myself. Somebody else. But and I've got enough lenders. Like, between my aggregator panel connections, I've probably got about direct access to well over 100 private lenders, and access to 40 or 50 mainstream ones.
So it's really those clients that you're looking to help. You probably more of those better.
It is, and I'm actually looking for a specific sort of client. I like working with people who are either investors, or they're seeking to make money out of real estate or a project or something like that. And that's just purely a personal preference, because I just like the mindset of people like that. They've got a broad, expansive point of view. They can look beyond
a little bit differently.
Usually their finances are in order. They're not setting off to find pay slips and things like that. So
fair enough.
It is really more about who I'm working with than what I'm actually doing. At the stage my business is actually, I've been in it for nearly 20 years, and I've been in that segment before. I've been in the traditional segment, and I really like it where people are creative, thinking outside the square, which is my logo, finance outside the square. I prefer working with lots like-minded people, and let's face it, that's what we all prefer at the end, to work with like-minded people who share similar vision and values and everything else.
Yeah, fantastic. And so the next question that I got for you is around, which you've sort of touched on a little bit as well, just come back into the camera there. Is around your point of difference. How are you different to other mortgage brokers? And I know you've sort of touched on it a little bit there already, but what do you think your main sort of points of difference are?
Well, one automatic point of difference is the fact I've got my own credit license, which is the same sort of licensing that banks have, and most brokers actually don't have that. They work under somebody else's license. So apart from the fact it means I've got higher degrees of accountability and compliance and things like that, being a credit license holder, it also gives me direct access to a lot of lenders, because a lot of lenders will only deal with somebody who's got a credit license. So it just gives me access to so much more. Like I had an interview this afternoon.
And so some of those lenders, other brokers don't have access to. Is that what you sort of?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Or they've got to come through me or somebody else with a credit license to get access. So it sort of cuts out the middleman, I guess.
Yeah. So does that mean that there's less fees involved for the client, but perhaps?
There can be less fees, but the biggest difference is in turnaround. Like if they come through another broker to me, and the other broker wants to manage the client, there's two issues. One is that the information's going through another person.
Yeah.
The other issue is an ordinary broker may not know the right questions to ask, and therefore some critical bit of information gets filtered out,
back and forth,
or they don't know the questions to ask, and the person misses out. And once you miss out the first time,
because we know that finance is also very time critical as well in a lot of cases. Where
you bet it is. I had a guy a few weeks ago
pushing and pushing and pushing, make sure everything's happening. Something is happening every day.
Yeah. Well, I had a guy approach me a few weeks ago. It fell over with the other broker, and I had to lodge it on Monday so we could settle on Friday. Otherwise, he was going to lose the property. And we did it. But
too funny. Well, that's good. I mean, that's a testament to what you do. And my last question is around your goals and what you're hoping to achieve with your business. Whether that's in 3 months or 5 years, what are you hoping to do?
You mean what do I want to be when I grow up, Mark?
Yeah, that's right. It's a good way of putting it.
Okay. Still working that one out. Although not really, but my business is actually part of my entire life. You can't separate the two as much as you might try and compartmentalise them.
Yeah.
And so rather than trying to fight it and segment it and compartmentalise and everything else, I try to create synergy between my business and my personal life. It's not always easy, because quite often you do personal stuff like volunteer work and things like that, and it takes chunks of time out. So you can't always do it, but basically
people talk about that, the work-life balance, and then I've heard that something similar to what you're saying there is there's no work-life balance, it's just life, and you just try and do it. You're just doing it all together, really.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much about work-life balance. I think it's more about a balanced life. If you're doing too much work and not enough relaxation, then okay, it is a work-life balance, but it also means your whole life is unbalanced. And you've got to accept the fact you can't do everything either. So you've just got to work on the things that are most important. But certainly what I'm looking at for myself is to become. They use all the words like, do you want to be financially self-sufficient or independent or blah, blah, blah. I don't have any personal lofty goals there. I'm quite happy to have in 5 years' time, to have a totally self-sustaining life where, I can offer people with my business, offer them what they really need, pick certain people rather than just being driven into certain market segments through a sense of urgency.
Fantastic. Well, look, that's hopefully that helps everyone understand a little bit more about what Peter, what you do there, Peter, and thanks very much for sharing that with us, and thanks for doing the video.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Right. Catch us on the next video.
See you later.
See ya. Good luck now.